found from 2011. My shoulders was in at 60. My waist was 52 and a half. My hips was 58, and that's crazy because it was around October or so, and I had already shed like 80 pounds. So yeah, it's not all about the scale. It's definitely about the inches because you see it slowly going down, you know. They slowly go down, and that is inspiration. So yeah, because my scale didn't always go down. It works in cycles. I'll have to go through that another time, but it works in cycles. If I was releasing a lot of inches, the scale would stay the same. If the scale would stay the same, my pant size seemed to stay the same, and it would go back and forth. So I'm so glad that I always kept measurements or gold pants, because when the scale didn't move and my pants could fit now, it was exciting. I didn't get discouraged. I'm still organizing and packing, so busy, so tired, and I'm on call tonight, so I also feel some stress coming on. So I'm gonna get 60 minutes in at the apartment gym, and I know I feel a lot better after that. The day I really need the gym, my code won't work. So I am about to run.
And I pray that never change. Ambition is priceless. It's something that's in your veins. And I put that on my name. Ambition is my shit. And I that I won't. Feeling so distant from everyone I've known. To make everybody happy, I think I would need a clone. Places we get flown. Parties that we throw. Apologize, you know. Put y'all in this.
And it's the only one I had to stop and make a wish. This is dandelion seeds, and these are dandelion greens.
When things go wrong, get through it together. Music make it better. We can make it better.
Every time you see the dandelion flower with the seeds, these are dandelion greens. They are totally edible. This is milk thistle. That's edible.
If we be by ourselves sometimes.
I just made it back and decided to try my code again, and it worked. So I'm about to lift some weights. Yeah. That's what I consider a test. Like, things go wrong. It's how you respond to what happens. It's all about your response, you know. I could have been like easily F my life, you know, bump it. I'm going back home and I'll be even madder, you know, because I didn't get to work out and release some stress. But instead, I made the best of what I have. And the best of what I have is out here. It's free, walking in nature, running in nature, whatever you can do. You know, it's really no excuses.
Be stressed out, cause ever since I left city, you started.
Try to explain what I'm doing in the best way I can. So I pull this bar underhanded, and then I bring it back while squatting and standing. If it's not so much of a low squat, but if you hold your feet sumo style and squeeze, keep your core tight, booty tight, you will definitely feel it. I personally put the weight as high as I can go, and I just go down while I'm pulling up like this, you know?
Gotta leave, gotta do what's best for me. You don't know what I need, you couldn't even give me honesty. Time to go, gotta leave. I gotta go, gotta leave. Buddy ain't paying. Bring that shit back, says you know that shit was hot. You know when I like something, I want you to
Celebrating, and all my people say, oh, yeah. Worry about nothing. My nigga, we out here stunning.
Y'all, when I realized I had to run or either make up an excuse and go home, I had to leave my water in the bushes, because I was not running with this bottle. Sometimes to get to where you want to be, you got to leave some shit. You can't expect results doing the same shit with bad habits. I always hear a lot of people say they want to be happy. They want to go back to school. They want to do this. But they still stuck with their own misery. Sometimes we become addicted to our own problems and don't even know it. We become addicted we become addicted to our own excuses. So when we realize we had to let it go, it scares the shit out of us. So we revert back to our old ways, thinking that we can still get it this time. And each time your back hit the wall, it's like, nope. Sometimes you just gotta let shit go. Some people think I have this perfect life and nothing goes wrong. Yeah, a lot of shit goes wrong, but it's my response to what's going on that makes me accomplish. No need for me to get on social media complaining about my problems. You know, first thing, if I got a problem, I need to pray. Then figure out a plan, a solution to the problem. So yes, a lot of shit goes wrong. I'm irritated right now. I'm in a relationship. It takes sacrifice. It takes commitment. It takes dedication. I needed this workout so I can get back into my mindset. And it's all about knowing you, knowing what your triggers are, knowing you, knowing what's going to get you out of the funk, you know, that kind of thing. So, well, I made it back home. I have about 4 minutes left, so in that 4 minutes, I'm going to see how many push-ups I can do. Let's see. I did 80, and my shoulders start feeling funny. So, I'm just going to go up and down these stairs till my 60 minutes is reached.
I can't help to still hear time you walk by. Got the thing for a nigga, I can see it in your eye. What I gotta do for a piece of pie? Tell me you feeling alright.
So I had all my juicer, blenders, everything is packed. So anyways, Jimmy John's veggie sandwich, extra guacamole and mustard with a side of chips. This is something that I incorporated in my lifestyle. Like if I have a sandwich and I get the bread, I don't get a side of chips or fries. But those small changes really make a big difference after a while. And not saying that I don't eat both. Sometimes I do. But for the most part, if I'm doing that, it's either or. And these chips are not what I call alkaline. This is my, I guess you could say, junk food, pretty much. Releasing my first 150 pounds, I didn't take anything out of my diet. Like, seriously. I actually just ate in moderation. If I went to IHOP, I would eat half the omelet and 2 pancakes. Or everywhere I went, I would just eat portion-sized food. If I wanted a piece of cake, I would take most of the icing off and eat half the piece of cake. I mean, everything doesn't work for everybody, but for me, I just couldn't restricting myself so much because I had a lot to release. Like I knew I needed to shed over 200 something pounds, and being on a strict diet, that it just don't work for me. So as I began to educate myself on foods, I started taking certain things out of my diet and replacing it with something else. Like, you know, instead of white bread, I would get wheat. Instead of vegetable oil, I would get grapeseed oil. Things like that. Like I would make subtle changes, and it was slowly a lifestyle. Instead of regular yogurt, I would start getting Greek yogurt and start looking at the sugar. But I didn't try to do it all at once. I focused on one thing at a time. And the first thing I focused on was logging my food in a food journal to actually see what I was eating. And I was eating like 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day. Not every day, but going to Starbucks, getting a coffee 2 or 3 times a day, getting a muffin while you're there, snacks, crackers, then go to happy hour, get a couple of drinks, then get an appetizer, then eat my meal. I mean, it was adding up. Unless you're doing some kind of challenge, cleanse, or doing it for healing, I don't recommend people. And when they ask me for advice, I don't recommend them drastically cutting something out of their diet. I mean, unless they're really going through something. But if they're if they have a lot of weight to shed, I always recommend slow and steady, because slow and steady will win versus hitting it real fast and then crashing and having to do it again. So since I don't have a blender, don't have a juicer, I even accidentally packed my cayenne pepper. Now y'all know I drink that every day. I packed my hemp. I packed everything pretty much. I don't have anything. Even packed my tea. I got on Groupon and I found a local Juice Heroes, the place I went to the other day, and I ordered a 3-day cleanse. So I paid $85, and then they give you 5 juices and a fresh coconut water for each day. And I only usually drink like 3 juices, because most of my electric food or herbs, I've taken my herbs too when I'm juicing, so I don't be hungry for the most part. I mean, I might, but I'm not going to force it if I don't, you know? I'm just going to listen to my body. But so the juices last. They said the juices are good for 5 days. So it looks like I will have enough juice, you know, for 5 days pretty much. Which takes some stress off of me because I know my juices are made and they're fresh and whatnot. They did allow me to customize some of the stuff, like they had carrots in them. I don't do carrots, and replace it with something else that I do. And then they added cilantro and parsley. And I also ordered ginger because I always add ginger to all my juices. Ginger, and I ordered 2 shots of lemon. So I'll use the lemon and I'll put it in my water. So I hope you guys are ready. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every week. And no excuses. Everybody's doing something different. This weekend, I didn't do bad as far as my food. I mean, I was more chill than usual. And then like yesterday, I went to that and I didn't have no butternut squash. All I had was green beans. And so when we left really late, I was like, man, I want some chips. And I found like a granola bar. So at like 1 in the morning, I ate a bag of chips and 2 granola bars. Crazy, right? So many of you guys know, like after 7, I don't eat. So on Saturdays, I eat all day long. So for the people that ask me, do I do cheat days or cheat meals or whatever, I don't really consider cheat meal or cheat day. I personally struggled using that word, so that's just my personal struggle. So I refrain from using the word cheat meal or cheat day. But I like, if you're going to ask if I plan, like next week, I can plan to go to my favorite vegan restaurant and I know I'm going to have vegan nachos. So and I know when I get my vegan nachos, I'm going to go get a vegan cupcake. You know what I'm saying? So that week, I won't partake in many treats or whatever. I really won't take in any treats. And that morning that I'm going to eat that, I will eat light and I will eat very healthy. So I know what I'm doing throughout the week. So I like to plan my food for the most part, like figure out what I'm going to eat when I'm grocery shopping. Like the week before my cycle comes, I know I'm going to eat a lot of stuff, and I just already planned for that. I already know I'm going to eat a lot of stuff. Sometimes I just give in to the cravings. They're so strong that if I want to go get a candy bar, I'll go to Whole Foods and get me a candy bar, and I'll eat the whole candy bar, and I'm not ashamed. And I don't feel bad about eating it because that's just one thing I did in my journey. A week before my period, I used to eat a whole box of Hot Pockets and Doritos. Then I'll go get me some ice cream. So before my period, I would be like, it's like nothing would satisfy that craving. So I would just eat and eat and eat for like 3 to 4 days. But for the rest of the month, my eating was good. And so it was good. I didn't keep slipping up every day. So even though I ate those 3 days, and just because I worked out and I kept it good for the rest of the month pretty much, my average drop of weight was approximately 7 to 10 pounds a month. I mean, that's just what it was. And that's because I was more consistent than I was inconsistent. And like I said earlier, every month I didn't shed weight. I would go 3 months and the scale wouldn't drop not one time, but my pant size would be dropping. And then when my pants stopped dropping, the scale would just drastically drop. Like I would lose like 15 pounds in 1 month if I stayed consistent. A lot of people can see their clothes getting loose and they don't see the scale going down. So they just say, well, fuck it, I'm going to eat this and I'm going to do this. Well, you ain't going to see those results you want. I would have challenges with myself. I always had challenges with myself, like no binging for 30 days or no, things like that. Or this week I'm not gonna drink any soda or juice, or the next week I'm not gonna eat any milk products. Like I kept myself. I was constantly challenging my own self, or I would do burn goal challenges or stuff like that. So, I mean, you just gotta make your own journey. A lot of you guys are so blessed because when I started my journey, it wasn't no Instagram. I wasn't on social media like that. It was just me. It was just me, Google, a bunch of books at the library or Barnes & Noble, and about 3 friends on MyFitnessPal. That's all it was. That's all. I knew all about diets. I knew every diet. I done tried every diet. I knew how to shed 25 pounds in 1 month off a diet, but I didn't know how to keep it off. So this time I wanted to live healthy. So I didn't go on no diet. I created a lifestyle, and I did my first 3 months with Weight Watchers. And when my 3-month membership was up, I had found my Fitness Pal. For the last month, I was doing my Fitness Pal and Weight Watchers at the same time, so I can compare and see the differences in my calories versus my points and this and that. So when you want something, you want it and you'll work for it. So any of my big friends, they only knew diets. Any of my small friends, they weren't. They're just small. So I didn't have any friends into fitness that I could go ask for help. And I told you guys at the time, my family didn't take me serious anyways, because I had started losing weight so many different times and was so inconsistent and always fell off. So this time when I made the decision, I did it for me. I didn't tell hardly nobody, just did it. I think it took me dropping about 40 pounds for people to actually even notice that I had lost some weight, for real. Because I figured I could drop 20, 25 pounds, 20, 25, 30 pounds and be in the same clothes. That's what I'm telling you guys, like the inches. Then I would drop no pounds and go down 2 sizes. I mean, I learned everything the hard way. Like I said, I learned everything the hard way. But I will say, I didn't know nothing about no food scale at first. I didn't know nothing about it. But when I found out about that food scale, oh, that was the game changer of my diet. That was the game changer of me releasing all that waste, was measuring my food on that scale. When I got that scale, I realized some foods I was cheating myself out of, and some foods I was eating like 2 and 3 servings. So if you're on my Fitness Pal and they say you just put in 6 ounces and you don't even know, you could be eating 10, 12 ounces, or you could be eating 2 ounces. So yeah, I remember when I first got my scale, I measured my chicken breast on there, and I thought I was eating 1 serving. I was eating 2.5 servings. The chips, they would be like 13 to 15 chips. And yes, I would count every one of them. And I put it on the scale and I realized, hell, I could have 23 chips. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to be serious about it, then now I can eyeball things and be pretty much on point, because I did it for like almost 3 years. I'm not saying I didn't fall off here and there, because I fell off many a times. But for the most part, before I put something in my mouth, I measured it and I knew what I was. That being said, I also made some mistakes by going out to eat, ordering a salad, and then coming home, putting it on my Fitness Pal, and realizing the salad was 800 to 900 calories versus I could have had a steak and some vegetables and a mashed potato and been good. So you live and learn. You have to make some mistakes. I mean, you can't, when you make mistakes, you don't give up. You learn from it and keep going, you know? Real talk, I just remembered why I do not eat sweet potatoes. Because they slow me down. They make me feel heavy and sluggish. Like I'm tired now. When I had started changing my foods, I realized how light and good I'm supposed to feel. Because after you eat, when you eat, it's to give you energy. When I eat foods that agree with me and my genetic makeup, when I eat, I feel like I can go do a bunch of work. For instance, the better my diet got, the less sleep my body required. No lie to you. And I would just feel so energetic. Anyways, I ate that sweet potato, and within 30 minutes, I started feeling like I got the itis. I was like, oh, hell no. The chips were fine because I nitpicked them, and I really didn't. It came in a bag, and I ate like 1/3 of the bag, you know? But as far as the sweet potato, I knew better. I ate 1 sweet potato. I knew my body could not deal with that sweet potato. I used to eat sweet potatoes and be fine, but as my diet cleaned up, and if somebody look at the pH alkaline chart, they'll be like, well, sweet potatoes are alkaline. Well, I don't consider my sweet potatoes an alkaline food. You got to think I go off, not for me. Not for me. It's not, that's considered one of my junk foods, okay? Everybody's different, but a sweet potato is a junk for me. And so, yeah, I'm paying for it now, because now I got to be up for like 15 hours, and I'm going to be, yeah, certain foods just slow me down, and I don't like it. I used to think this was a normal feeling, but after living and eating and thriving, this is not a normal feeling. This is not a feeling that I should feel after eating any food at all. But anyways, have a great night.
Ain't nobody judge you, no, no. Make that money, don't let that money make you, girl.